So 14 events out of 40 done. Czech Republic well in front at the moment. Super League bound. Netherlands, Romania, Sweden and Ireland, who were top 4, now top 5, but they're still 11 points away from promotion, and that is very achievable. Estonia, Switzerland, despite their recent good results, still waiting for the rest of the 400 meters results to come through before they can get lifted up, but there's a bit of a gap developing now. Athletes on the track ready for the second heat of the women's 400 meters. One of the great names of European athletics right now is in this. We don't normally see her on the flat, but she's pretty good at it. Zuzana Hejnova of the Czech Republic, the Olympic bronze medalist in the hurdles last year. Sasavedo of Portugal, Nikolova of Bulgaria, Hejnova of the Czech Republic, Maria Gafor of the Netherlands, Pastor of Romania, and the European champion over 400 meters, Moa Hjelma of Sweden. This is quite a field. Don't write off Nikolina Nikolova either of Bulgaria. She's got a personal best set this year of 52.61, and that compares well with Hejnova and Gafor. But the stars of this race, Hejnova, she's got 2 European bronzes in the relay, 4x400, so that's why she's in the flat in this, despite her Olympic bronze medal in the hurdles last year. 4th in the last 2 European Championships. Just keeps getting better then. Maria Gafor, she's in lane 5 for the Netherlands, the 400 meters European junior bronze medalist from 2 years ago. Kira McGeehan won a medal at those games also for the host country Ireland. Adelina Pastor of Romania, medley relay world youth champion, bronze medalist 2009. That's good, but the CV of the athlete in lane 7. Reigning European outdoor champion, 400 meters, and cheered to the rafters in Gothenburg in March, winning bronze in the European indoors. Moa Hjelma, bright new sprinting star of Swedish athletics. Quick hop to Helsinki for the Europeans last year. Lots of Swedish fans there, and my, how they loved their victory for one of the greatest athletics nations. Hjelma poised, looking to do a bit of damage for Sweden here. Hejnova in 4 for the Czech Republic. Gafor, Netherlands 5. Pastor, Romania 6. Hjelma started very, very strongly for Sweden. Outside in lane 7. It's a great start by Hejnova. She's already overtaken Gafor, and she's got a very fast personal time. Hejnova may be an expert in terms of the hurdles, but she's brilliant on the flat as well. And at the moment it looks between her, Pastor, and Moa Hjelma. This could be very close indeed. Hejnova looking very strong as they approach the final bend. Great lift for the 3 times major championship medalist, and that included London 2012. Pastor's coming good for Romania here. Moa Hjelma at the moment in 3rd place for Sweden, and a bit of catching up to do, but Hejnova unbeaten in 2013. She's fighting hard to hold on here, but Hejnova will win it for the Czech Republic. It's Pastor 2nd for Romania, and Moa Hjelma takes 3rd place for Sweden. And that was one of the strongest, highest quality fields of this European Athletics Team Championship so far. And the European champion finished 3rd against a woman who wants to be on the podium in Moscow at the World Championships in August. Still unbeaten, 2013, Zuzana Hejnova.
You're absolutely right. That was one of the strongest quality fields of the entire weekend. And even with the wind at minus 5 meters, 51.89 is just outside her season's best. She's the Olympic bronze medalist over the 400 meter hurdles. We saw her colleague winning the 4 hurdles earlier on. She has now won the 400, and I think it's fair to say, if you're a betting man, the Czech Republic should win the 4x4 relay, the second last event tomorrow evening, the women's 4x4. but a super run by Hainova. 51.90, it's been officially rounded down. And as you can see here in the home straight, completely outclassed the Dutch and the Portuguese. Very, very strong, very strong core strength. There was no fading, as you'd expect from a 400-metre hurdler, because they're normally stronger than the 400-metre flat runners. All the way to the line, very strong run by Hainova, and 51.90 officially recorded. What a great run.
That is an outdoor lifetime best for Zuzana Hainova. Watch out for her again in Moscow in the hurdles. But you know what? She ain't bad on the flat either. That was a sterling display. Well, Mua Hjelmer, 52.89. It's outside her season's best. It's almost 2 seconds outside her lifetime best, but third for Sweden here. Pastor takes second place, and Hainova, well, she is a poster girl for these games. And that's why. Women's pole vaults, well in progress here at the Morton Stadium in Dublin. And for the Czech Republic, Irina Svobodova, the European champion, is clear at 4:40. And maybe on the way to victory. Very well done. Tori Pena needs to clear this at 4:40. She got over 4:30 well. Oh no, that's it. Tori Pena's out. Has a chance of a top 4 finish still though. It all ends there for her. For Finland, Minna Nikkanen, former European junior champion. Well, she's aborted a run-up and time is running down, and well, the wind is causing big trouble here, as you can see. Svobodova. Oh, look at that. Well, that was for 4:50, and I'm not sure that we've seen this in a pole vault event before. So many aborted attempts. It was victory for Svobodova in the end for the Czech Republic, the reigning European champion, but, well, that's extraordinary. I cannot recall seeing that before, and it's raining again, by the way.
Well, it'll suit the men's 5,000-metre runners, who are the next event on the track, but
great result for Tori Pena for Ireland. She gets 11 points there, and that, I've got to say, is probably her best championship performance ever. Victory for Irina Svobodova for the Czech Republic. Nikkanen third for Finland, and Reina Koll, she's fourth for Estonia.
Svobodova's 4:40 is a new Irish all-comers record for the women's pole vault.
Records being broken right across the board. Czech Republic have that strong lead maintained. Netherlands go second ahead of Romania by half a point. Sweden fourth. Mua Hjelmer helped them. Ireland fifth. And you will see, by the way, that they've just overtaken Portugal. They dipped after an event to go. Netherlands got 0 in that pole vault, and that could be a problem for them. We've got 5 more events to go today. Well, we've had intermittent showers today, all day. Had it for the opening ceremony around midday. Just your typical Irish summer. I have to say, it is getting probably as heavy as we've seen all day. And some have travelled further than others. Nice umbrella. You can come here tomorrow too if you wish. We will promise sunshine. 5,000 metres men, longest event on the track in these championships. There's no 10,000 metres. In this field is very talented Swede Mikael Ekvall, who's come on late for Ola Vollerang. Shane Quinn from Waterford goes in this for Ireland. And we have lost the only major championship medalist in this race because Sweden made that late change. Also watch out for Tidrik Norma for Estonia and Roy Hunveg for the Netherlands.
Shane Quinn from Waterford, following in the footsteps of his father Brendan, who represented Ireland in the 1988 Olympic Games in Seoul in the 3,000-metre steeplechase. In a golden era, actually, for Irish steeplechasing, because Liam O'Brien represented Ireland 4 years earlier in Los Angeles. So he's carrying on that tradition based in the States, and he will finish high up the field, I'm sure he will. Well,
we saw the Estonian there, Tidrik Norma, who was very much a hero for them the last time the European Team Championships were held 2 years ago. Roy Hunveg of the Netherlands, national champion, personal best 10 days ago, 13:48. And for Belgium, Bashir Abdi, who this year has had personal bests in the 10,000 and the 1,500. For Switzerland, Adrien Lehmann, and the Swiss Ekval parachuted in due to Wallerang presumably picking up an injury. Wallerang was the 1,500 metres European Junior Championship bronze medalist in 2003. Sander Jabot also runs cross-country. Watch out for him. I suppose there are those who will say, if it's a 5,000 metres race and it's not perfect, well, just let them go. They're actually in the wrong place. We are ready for the marathon of the track in terms of these events. There's no 10,000 metres. That has traditionally been held separately in a European Cup 10,000 metres event. Good start by Tidrek Nurma. Now, he, 2 years ago, was a hero when Estonia came up from the second league. That's the third flight. He won this race, the 5,000 metres, and Estonia went up. They're battling right now to stay up and not drop down. Lead taken by Roy Hoornweg of the Netherlands, and up for Ireland there from Waterford, Shane Quinn. And I know there's quite a few from Waterford who are here, and as soon as it's over, they're hopping in their transport and they're off to Tullamore for the hurling championship game against Offaly, the national small ball sport of this country. Netherlands working hard through Hoornweg at the moment, and the Estonian Nurma, but it's a gentle pace for the opening minute or so.
Yeah, great to see Waterford having so much representation. Shane Quinn in the 5,000 from Waterford, and his Dungarvan mate David McCarthy in the 3,000. So it's great to see Waterford representation, and it's good for Shane as well. He spent so much of his big years in the United States, and it's not often that we see him running in Dublin. As I say, his father, one of the greats of Irish athletics, he still holds the Irish all-comers record for the 3,000 metre steeplechase at 8:32. He was running that in the 1980s. When you see what they're running now, you realise what a talent Brendan Quinn was.
Very fortunate to have spoken at length with David McCarthy yesterday. And we'll see him in the 3,000 metres tomorrow. He spent a few years in the United States, as Shane Quinn has done. It works out very well for some, and it worked for McCarthy well for a long time. Quinn just did well not to be novel there. Almost ran into the back of Yolo Nikolov, the 9 times Bulgarian champion. 11 laps to go. Estonia, Bulgaria, Ireland, Hungary, all doing well at the moment. The Swede Ekval is holding his own very much. Abdi of Belgium, Nikolov of Bulgaria, Kurek of the Czech Republic, Nurma of Estonia, Javelin of Finland, Jabot of Hungary, Quinn of Ireland, Hoornweg of the Netherlands, Albuquerque of Portugal, Hot Dog, Soare of Romania, Lehmann of Switzerland, and Ekval of Sweden.
I think it would be generous to the runners and say that it's tactical for the first 800 metres. And this is actually the exact reason why there's no 10,000 metre on the track anymore, because the pace was so slow in the early races. 2 minutes and 30 seconds for 800 metres. So that's exactly why. And, you know, the reality of the situation is that most of these guys don't want to run from the front. They want to earn more prize money next week. Nobody wants to waste energy. It's going to come down to a last 4 or 5 lap sprint. But it makes it exciting, and people can trip over early on. And Estonia need these points.
So far, so good. But the field events continue here. And we've got the women's triple jump from earlier for Bulgaria. Gabriela Petrova, her first attempt. And that is the best of the day so far. And she barely even used the board. 13.55. There was another 20 centimetres there maybe for her. But she's well in control. One of these athletes who tends to perform better indoors than outdoors. 14.14, her personal best this year, which was indoors. World Indoors next year are in Sopot next March, near Gdansk, which was the Irish base for Euro 2012. That went well. Well, the 10,000 metres European Cup has traditionally been an event all of its own, and it's a chance for the European athletics community to give another city somewhere else a chance of holding a competition.
A smaller city, you're right. And I remember back in 1994 when the European Cup was held on this very track, Katrina McKiernan On the Saturday, the 10,000 metres was on the Saturday in those days, and Trin McKiernan ran at 31.19, which is still the Irish record. It was a world-leading time at the time, and I'll never forget the entire stadium on their feet for 25 laps cheering on Cavan's finest. So it was a great event. It's an event with a great tradition, and John Tracy ran Olympic finals. Trin McKiernan, you know, Fionnuala Britton was in the Olympic final, Marie McMahon was 14th in Athens. We are an endurance country. You know, we've seen today on the running events particularly, we've seen how strong we've been on the track.
Ireland definitely has. Estonia leading the way in this. Cedric Norma, 17 national titles. He's still young. He was 4th in the World University Games 2011. That's coming up in a few weeks' time, and a lot of those we're seeing here are competing in that in Kazan. There's 5 major underage international competitions this summer. European Youth Olympics are in the Netherlands in Utrecht. European Juniors in Rieti. Outside Italy, Donetsko's is the World Youths. And that leaves the
European Under-23s
yeah,
in Tampere. Interestingly, in fact, the competition director here today is John Cronin from Tullamore Harriers, and he's one of the European Athletics technical delegates for that event. So it's a great honour for Ireland that European Under-23 Championships in Tampere.
Means a very full calendar for a lot of these athletes. Shane Quinn would have been one of those if he hadn't been based over in the United States. His personal best in the 10,000 metres came in winning the Colonial race in Williamsburg, Virginia, back in April. He dipped under the 30-minute mark. 8 laps to go, and if you love your long-distance running, you're enjoying this. You might say it's a chess match, but I know people who love chess who say chess is very exciting. And we should never use that term for events where things are building as this one is. 7.5 laps to go. And I'll tell you what, Shane Quinn's doing nicely for Ireland in 4th place, the Waterford athlete.
Interesting to see what Bashir Abdi from Belgium does. He's the fastest in the field, and he sat at the back of the race the entire first 5 laps. So I wonder will he take it up, and as I mentioned, he just starts to move from the back towards the front. I wonder will he try and make an honest race of it now. But as I say, Shane Quinn is doing exactly the right tactics. He's only 20 years of age, a great experience for him. And I think the Belgian guy must be linked into Setanta Ireland, if you heard that mention.
Well, it's a good Belgian lead here for Bashir Abdi. He's had a very, very good year across a lot of distances, and you don't really get a lot of athletes who spread their time between 1,500 metres and 10,000 metres, but in terms of the home nation here, I think every national record from 800 metres up in the women's side is held by the one person. That's Sonia O'Sullivan. It's a good lead here by Abdi, who's taken up the pace. It's a bit like a cycling peloton at the moment. The Estonian Norme has very much done his job. The Portuguese coaches below us in a commentary position, a bit agitated. Maybe Bruno Albuquerque has a bit of moving up to do. He's currently in 2nd last, and that's the Finn in last place. That's Jarkko Järvenpää. He's a cross-country boy, so he's used to rugged times. He's also a half marathoner. The 13-mile races, 20 kilometres, so 5,000 is a stroll in the park for him. And we are alongside a park here. Belgium, Estonia, Bulgaria, Ireland, Hungary, the top 5 right now.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to a fast pace, and that's why the Portuguese coach is getting agitated, because his runner quite obviously doesn't have a sprint finish. We've got to give credit to Abdi. He's made an honest race out of this, starting to stretch the field out ever so slightly. Coming up now to 6 laps to go, 8 minutes 10 on the clock. We've got a bit of work to do actually to make this faster, but I think Abdi is going to stretch this field out, and we'll see now the honest distance runners and how they cope with a change of pace.
Well, it is now starting to stretch. 6 laps to go, but there's still only around 20 metres between them. And Abdi has had a little look back, and he's either deciding, right, time to put the foot down, or time to let someone else take over at the front. Or option number 3, just do nothing and stay there. But the race will be decided in the next 5.5 laps. Abdi taking it on. Impressive Norme. Top 2 all the way. He led right from the gun, literally. First corner. Hungarian has moved up well, Xander Szabo. He also will be familiar with Järvenpää in the cross-country circuit. But Norme, who is a 17 times national champion of Estonia, which sounds good if nothing else, staying up in second place.
That last lap was 66 seconds, so you can see the injection of pace has spread the field out. Nobody's dropped off yet, but Abdi's still out in front, looks to be in control, and as a 13-30 minute guy, you'd have to say he's got all the equipment with 2 kilometers to go.
He's got 5 laps of this sodden track in North Dublin remaining. Venue which stages the annual Morton Games next month. Ireland has so many big track meetings coming up. Mary Peters has won in her honour the Munich pentathlon champion from 1972. That's coming up in Belfast next Tuesday night. Cork City Sports is on in a few weeks down in the south coast. Morton Games as well. Ireland's national championships coming up. And a few weeks' time, it's the end of July, lots of nations held their national championships last weekend to prepare for these European team championships, because a lot of nations will not have a big shot at the World Championships in Moscow. This is their summer for many.
That's absolutely right. This is where it's at for most of the European countries, competing against each other. You know, it's a sad state of affairs that, you know, the Americans and the Caribbean sprinters really dominate on a world level. The African distance runners dominate. This is where it's been at for Ireland for a long time, and this is where it's at for most of the European countries. And with 1 mile to go, we're starting to see the pace really speed up. 66 and 68 the last 2 laps. But Shane Quinn right in the mix. Very, very mature race for a 20-year-old guy. Very relaxed arm carriage. And you'd have to say, I'm sure he will learn a huge amount from his experience. And I'd say he's thoroughly enjoying it, rain or no rain.
He very much impressively moved up well. He dropped down to about 6th or 7th, and he's back up in the top 5 again. A little bit of jostling over in the far side, and look at Quinn go, he's up into 2nd place. Very impressively done. The Swede is taken up for the first time in Ekval, and now the jostling is really happening as the acceleration comes in with some, gosh, 3.5 laps to go, and it's the Swede in front here, Mikael Ekval, and the good work of Quinn. Well, it has to be reciprocated from an Irish point of view. He's still hovering around 3rd place, battling for 3rd spot with the Hungarian Jabo. 2nd at the moment is the Belgian Abdi, and leading for Sweden is Mikael Ekval.
And as much as it looks like the pace has changed, it hasn't. It's gone up and down each lap. The last 3 laps, 66, 68 and 67. So it's reasonably steady if you're looking at it from that point of view. But each lap has seemed to go injection and slow down, injection and slow down. And with 3 laps to go now, it's anybody's race. Who would you call?
All 12 could still win this, and it's the Estonian moving up on the outside again. Tidrik Norma, he's done very well. The Swede Ekval now drops back into 2nd place. Quinn's still there for Ireland. Now a real injection of pace coming for the Belgian as well. Bashir Abdi coming on the outside. Quinn holding his own well in 5th place. The Romanian Soare, we've seen nothing of him in this race. The man who's had 2 wins in Bucharest in the past month has now suddenly shot up into 4th and into contention. Maybe, just maybe, at the right time. But the Estonian who's led for a lot of this race is back at the front again. Tidrik Norway, the 2008 Olympian, and the man who helped Estonia win promotion when this event was last held 2 years ago. It wasn't held last year because this weekend, a year ago, it was the European Athletics Championships in Helsinki, due to it being an Olympic year. Well, it's getting really tasty now, and the pace is shooting up, and here goes Soare, the Romanian. He's up in the top 2. Quinn's still there for Ireland in 4th place. 2 laps to go, and leading for Estonia, Tidrik Norma.
2 laps to go. That last lap was 63 seconds. Up to the 200-metre mark. Quinn has had a fantastic race for Ireland, and it still is anybody's race. 11 athletes in theory could win this race, but it's going to turn into a last look at 13 minutes on the clock and 700 metres to go. It has been very, very tactical. It's going to be just sub 15 minutes, I think, if they can carry on this pace, and it's going to burn down to who has the fastest kick, who has conserved enough energy on the first 10 laps, and Quinn is really mixing it with 600 metres to go.
It is Norma who leads for Estonia, but not anymore. The Romanian is overtaking him, Nicholas Alexandru Soare, and this is a great performance by Quinn so far. He's up into 2nd place. Has he made his move at the right time? Norma now back in 3rd. Leading for Romania is Soare, but all of these athletes know that the pace is going to rocket here. 500 metres to go. The bell is coming, and here comes Quinn for Ireland. And on the inside for Belgium, Bashir Abdi. Leading at the bell, the Romanian, Nicholas Soare. And now Quinn goes for it. with 375 metres to go. Shane Quinn is in front for Ireland. It's Soirée in second place for Romania. In third for Belgium, it's Abdi. The Estonian staying up there in fourth, Norma. And it's between these four, and the Belgian goes for it. Abdi's in front for Belgium. Quinn battling to hold on to a top three spot. He's being pushed down into third place now. The Estonian's going for it, Norma. But Quinn might still have something in the tank. They've still got the Swede to deal with in Ekval. But it's Abdi who leads for Belgium here. Abdi in front, second place, Norma for Estonia, third, Quinn for Ireland. It's between these three, the Romanians still there, Swara. Real battle for gold here. Abdi for Belgium holding on. Norma coming along also. Norma in second place. The Belgian wins it, Abdi wins it. Norma second, can Quinn hold on? Quinn finishes in fourth place. And for Romania, it's Swara in third. And the Dutchman Hornbeek popped out of nowhere to finish fifth. Well, another great result for Belgium for Bashir Abdi. Another great result for Ireland. Shane Quinn of Waterford finishes in fourth place.
A great race and a great performance by Shane Quinn. He was in the lead at the bell. He did everything he possibly could to get maximum points, and he ran his socks off in that event. A fantastic event. Really good performance from a young athlete who's only 20 years old, and that will bring him on in leaps and bounds. And Belgium really need those points. Currently in 10th place after 16 events, so they'll certainly go down well with Bashir Abdi. As I say, no records broken in that race, 14:56 the winning time, but a really great championship race. It all went down to the last lap, and at the last lap Shane Quinn was leading, and fair play to him.
This was a great last lap, and Shane Quinn looked to have gone at the right time. Certainly in terms of his final position, he did. He decided to stick up with the top four and to be the leader with 300 metres to go, but just look at the acceleration on the way, on the outside coming from Bashir Abdi.
For a 20-year-old athlete making his debut in this event, it's really exciting to see Shane Quinn leading that and really digging in. He never gave up at all. You know, he ran out of legs, I think, with 200 metres to go, and the Estonian went by him, but he dug in deep and only lost third place in the last 20 metres. Abdi was always going to win this race because he had all the answers to any way the race was ran as a 13:30 minute guy. The Estonian, I think, ran very sensibly from his point of view. But Shane Quinn, you have to say, he's a really exciting talent. He's 20 years old. This is an event that the older you get, the more strength you get. Really dug in, and you see Abdi out in front, well, he's the answers to any single question that could be asked of him. He was always going to win it. But Shane Quinn at this stage was still digging in. Just lost out in third place in the last 10 or 15 metres. But a wonderful race, and you have to say Shane Quinn is a real talent for the future.
Well, it was a superb battle between these two at the front, and Abdi just had enough in the end. Belgium and Estonia, the top two in the 5,000 metres. It's been good stuff so far, hasn't it? Fantastic athletics. It's the 5th time the European Team Championships in one form or another have been held in Dublin, but it is the biggest version that's ever been staged in this country. And so far, the hosts are doing well. Top 5 for now. 8 points from the promotion places. Now, here's how things stand in the women's triple jump. We've had 3 rounds. The final round is on the way, and the victory is between Cristina Bujin of Romania, Susana Costa of Portugal, Alina Toro of Finland, and Gabriela Petrova of Bulgaria. 2 points for Ireland, and Quiva King of Okagawa. And we'll see the last track result, which was another brilliant race. The quality's been fantastic. Thrillers all the way. The 5,000 metres men was won by Bashir Abdi of Belgium. Slow time, slow race. Conditions played a part. Nurme of Estonia in second place, 11 points for them. They are off the bottom. They're above Switzerland now. Romania third through Alexandru Soare. And another important result for Ireland and Shane Quinn, but they only gained 1 place on the nation above them overall. That's the Netherlands, who scored high through Roy Hoenveek. Well, the action continues here. And if you're in the vicinity, we would love you to join us tomorrow. The rain has played its part today, but the home nation are in with a big chance of promotion. And that gap, since I've been talking last, has narrowed 5.5. Ireland are away from the promotion places now. Czech Republic lead, Romania second, Sweden third, Netherlands 4, and the last remaining 3 events of the day are the relays and the women's triple jump, and then we'll be at halfway. Ireland in 5th place.
It's absolutely incredible. Ireland in 5th place, Portugal, Finland and Belgium have all been in the Super League previously. We've never been in the Super League, and to even be discussing the fact that we could be there is incredible.
Good performance for Ireland so far. Top 8 in the second flight is the best that's ever been achieved before. And we are going to many parts of Europe, and I have to tell you that in Ireland in the past week, the talk has been that Ireland would be decimated. 3 of the best athletes absolutely bowing out. Now, Christina Bouyin, by the way, is finishing 4th in the triple jump. She's just had her final attempt, and it will be 9 points remaining. It was a red flag. It wasn't a great attempt, and she doesn't want you to see it again. It's been a good performance so far. Susana Costa for Portugal, currently lying 3rd. Currently 10 points for her. 13.37 her best so far. That was her first attempt. No fouls from her yet. Needs to improve by 9 centimeters, and she slip up into the top 2. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. The official looked very, very closely indeed. Exceptionally closely. And there's the proof. There's the smoking gun. Bouyin, who we saw earlier, by the way, has a fantastic amount of success underage. 5 international medals, including a World University Games bronze. Well, she's 4th here. And Costa will do no better than 3rd. So it's down to Finland and Bulgaria now. Elina Toro and Gabriela Petrova. Toro, World Youth Silver Medalist 2003. 13.45 her best so far. Relatively consistent. Season's best, 7 centimeters further. If she can add 3 onto that, she'd take the lead. The season's best has not yet gone today. That's 13.52. She's on 13.45. 13.56 would be the lead. She's determined. Finland could do with a big result here. They could do with maximum points. Right now, the top 5 are separate from the rest. Portugal 6th, Finland 7th, but they're quite adrift, and they need a few wins in a row in order to keep themselves in with a chance. Elina Toro for Finland. Final attempt. It's not good, and it's a red flag, and she knew it. She pulled out halfway through. So 11 points for Finland, 2nd place for Toro, and she's not happy with it. Even though she wasn't that far away from a lifetime best, but if she had actually got a lifetime best in this, she'd be ahead. Not by much. Those are the margins between winning and not winning. Well, what that means is that Bulgaria have won this event through Gabriela Petrova. 13.55 was her first attempt. She can have her final go if she wants, do her lap of honour, or she can go home and celebrate earlier. But Bulgaria gets 12 points there. They in the bottom 5 of the 12. That's a very good result, though. They have a chance of maybe getting into the top 6 before the day is through. There's only 2 more track races, by the way. Those are the 4x100 meters relays. They're coming up shortly. So that's the result. Petrova may or may not take her final leap, but it's academic now. Victory for Bulgaria. Toro second for Finland. 10 centimeters off. Costa for Portugal third. Bugin, very impressive underage athlete, much as she was fourth in the end, and 2 points for Ireland through Quiva King.
Thankfully the sun has come out and the rain has stopped, because the next event on the track, the 4x100 meter relay, certainly doesn't need any additional slippery material to make that baton drop. The most exciting events of all the European Team Championships is of course the relays, and a drop baton could mean a huge points.
Well, this is the relay. Estonia, Switzerland, Finland, Hungary, Bulgaria and Belgium. Nominally, these are the 6 slowest of the 12. They can always pull off a surprise here. For Finland, this is Maria Räsänen. She'll be handing over to Hanna-Mari Latvala, second athlete who's quite strong. Hungary have a decent team as well. And here's Anastasia Ngoyen, who is their first leg athlete. Eva Kaptur, Fanny Smelts, and Liliana Guba, the rest of their field. Expect a lot from Bulgaria, the anchor leg being run by Eva Lalova. We know all about her and her incredible pace, the European champion. They're starting off with Karin Akaloi, who's a very good heptathlete. I remember seeing her at the World Youths a couple of years ago in Lille. Belgium are in lane 7. Their results so far not been so great. Cynthia Madalange Bolingo is their start athlete. In 3, Switzerland, led by Majinga Kambunji, who's got a high finish already for Switzerland. And in lane 2, the former Estonian Sports Personality of the Year, Grit Sadeko, winning the European Under-23 heptathlon a few years ago. We're underway. Estonia, no, we're not. Hang on. Well, Belgium were left in the blocks. Well, that's either a false start or a faulty start. But they all stroll back. There's Grit Sadeko there, whose sister, younger sister, Greta, also a heptathlete, based in the States. Both under 23, and they've both, perhaps in the heptathlete stage, got a lot going for them. Bulgarian, Karin Okalai, will be hoping that nobody's looking at her.
And the Belgian athlete was totally left in the blocks, never heard the gun apparently, and that's why they recalled the start. Very lucky, could have cost their country a lot of points.
Well, they're way down at the moment in 9th place. Switzerland, by the way, bottom, 13 points adrift of Estonia.
And the green card being shown to all the athletes to show them that none of the teams are being penalised. The aim at the start, of course, is to make sure that every single athlete or every single team has a fair start, and for whatever reason the Belgians just never reacted. She's a lucky woman.
Just as well, we start off with Sadeko of Estonia, Kambunji of Switzerland, Räsänen of Finland, and Ngoyen of Hungary, Okalai of Bulgaria, and the very fortunate Belgian here, Cynthia Marangale Bolingo.
Most important thing in this race is to get that baton around. Anything can happen at those changeovers.
And if you drop it, it's no points. Estonia, Switzerland, Finland, Hungary, Bulgaria and Belgium. Heat 1 of the women's 4x100 meters relay. Away this time, everybody heard it, but again the Belgian was very slow out of the blocks. What a start in 5 by Nguyen for Hungary. Really good sprinter, and also the Finn. Rassinen's going brilliantly. The first changeover, Sadeko to Maggie for Estonia, and they're not doing too badly. It's Hungary and Bulgaria who are flying at the moment, and the Finns too with Latvala. Changeover by Latvala to Jokela. Penultimate leg. This is a really good performance. Hungary and Finland are up there. Finland doing brilliantly. Switzerland also. Sprunger on the final leg. Lalova's coming also for Hungary. But that was a really good changeover. And Switzerland are going to get the win here. Sprunger's going to come home in fourth. Switzerland, Finland, Hungary. Maybe Estonia ahead of Belgium. We're hearing there may have been a problem with the last handover there, Pearce.
It looked to me there was a problem with the Finnish athlete. They were way outside the zone, but I looked down and I saw the official raising the yellow flag. So it will be interesting, of course. The jury of appeal can always look at the TV coverage, but there's some shocking changeovers. Bulgaria had a terrible changeover at the 200-metre mark as well.
Well, that's victory for Switzerland for now.
Just watch the Finn. The incoming runner practically stopped, went away too early, held her hand out. The girl couldn't give her the baton. She slowed down. She's outside the zone. As you can see, the yellow line is the zone. She's well outside that zone. So you'll probably see a little red mark coming up beside the Finnish team. And Lalova's team, at second changeover, Bulgaria practically stopped and walked before she got the baton. It is the hardest event to get right. The British men do it constantly at the major championships. But it's so important because it can cost your team so many points at the team championships. But it's exciting events. It's a great way to finish day one.
Well, Switzerland for now have got that right. Could be good news for them if there were a couple of troubled changeovers. Again, there was a wobbly start from Bolingo of Belgium in 7. She shot off quite well.
Just watch the Bulgarian in lane 6 here. So she's way behind. I think the second change was even worse.
Laleva to Donkova.
Look, as she stopped and practically walked and got it. And you can see how far behind when they come out of the stagger.
Well, never mind Yvette Lalova. They'd have needed Usain Bolt in the final changeover. Miles behind. She was in last place at that stage. No trouble whatsoever for Switzerland, though. Comfortably there, ahead of Finland in second place. Hungary were up there too.
And you can see the officials now talking about it at the zone. The yellow flag was raised.
Well, this is the result for now. Big unofficial, with the emphasis on. Switzerland win, Finland second, Hungary third, Belgium, Estonia, Bulgaria are the rest. For now.
For now is the key word. There's no official before that, and you regularly see the word official be coming in, and I'm sure Finland will be disqualified when the final 12 results come up.
Strong chance that decision won't be made for a couple of hours. There are appeals, you know all about this because you're an athletics official. You're in these smoky rooms with people of anger.
There are appeals, Will, but when you break the rules, there's no way you can appeal it. It was clear to everybody watching that. The officials' yellow flag went up, so they saw it straight away, and they're all now congregating to be prepared for an appeal. But the rules are the rules. You change the baton outside the zone, you're disqualified. It's very, very simple.
It's been a decent day so far. If you find yourself near here, come along tomorrow. If you've no day-by-day involvement in athletics, it'll only cost you €10. Portugal, Ireland, Czech Republic, Sweden, Netherlands and Romania are the 6 in the field for the second heat of the women's 4x100 metres relay. European record 41.37.
I think it's fair to say that'll be there after this event, Will. These German ladies.
Well, marking their territory.
Yeah, a lot of these athletes will actually place a bit of tape well outside the zone, and when the incoming runner hits that tape, they will start their run up. But there's a 20-metre zone. It's in between 2 yellow lines, and that is where the baton, and the baton is the most important thing, where that changeover has to happen.
Well, Finland have been disqualified from that previous women's relay. This the second heat of the 4x100 meters. It features Portugal, Ireland, the Czech Republic, Sweden, Netherlands and Romania. And some good running talent in this. Katarina Chekova, who we've already seen for the Czech Republic, is on the anchor leg for them. Sonia Tavares, the anchor leg for Portugal. This is Eva Vital. Vital, she doesn't drop it. Pair of Tavareses. Portugal in 2, Ireland in 3. They start off with Eilish McSweeney of Lee Vale. She'll hand over to Niamh Whelan of Ferrybank. Sarah Lavin of Limerick, who's been brought into the sprint hurdles in place of Derval O'Rourke. And Phil Healy from Bandon, the back-to-back 100-200 All-Ireland Schools champion. Just after her final exams, it's Iveta Masakova starting up for the Czech Republic, to Prokaskova, then Urbankova and Chekova. Sweden start off with Freya Jenstig, pass to Sandra Törnros, Daniela Busk, and then Irina Ekelund to finish off. Expect a lot from them, and the Czech Republic, and the Dutch. Nikki van Leuveren starting off for them. Kadena Vassell, we'll see a lot of her tomorrow probably. She's on their anchor leg. And Anna Maria Rusianu will start off for Romania. All but Ograzianu on the anchor leg have got 3 names. Won't have time to fit them all in with the speed of this. Portugal, Ireland, Czech Republic, Sweden, Netherlands, Romania. The 6 in this women's 4x100 meters relay. They are away first time, and what a start by McSweeney for Ireland, and even more so for the Czech Republic by Iveta Masakova, and Masakova's already overtaken Jenstig of Sweden. Here comes the first changeover. Ireland, McSweeney giving off to Whelan, who's done brilliantly, and she's shooting forward. The Dutch are in front now. Tessa Van Schagen is on their second leg, giving it to Eva Lubbers. The Dutch need to get this right, and I wonder if they've done so. Ireland have got Sarah Lavin on the penultimate leg, doing very well at the moment, but can she keep it up? Here comes the final changeover. Phil Healy taking over for Ireland. Phil Healy for Ireland. Czech Republic, Chekova. Can Healy pull her in? Second place at the moment for Ireland. Czech Republic in front. Czech Republic win it. And it's second place for Phil Healy for Ireland. The kids are all right. Second place for the hosts. And Portugal were up there as well, and I think they might have just taken third through Sonia Tavares. Well, that was a good victory for the Czech Republic, and Chekova, she was first past the line, but what's going on here? Winners do not react like that, and she is screaming at her coach. And then as soon as she saw the cameras were there and she was on the big screen, the smiles came. Netherlands didn't finish. Eva Lubbers went down just before the final changeover to Kadena Vassell. And that looks quite nasty for Eva Lubbers. But that's an interesting Czech reaction. Watch this closely. Great start by Eilish McSweeney. Superb athlete, but a great start for the Czech Republic. And Masakova, we've had no information filter through yet about dodgy changeovers, but maybe the Czechs. Now let's watch the changeover here for the Netherlands. It's Van Schagen to Lubbers. It's the orange singlet, gets the changeover there. Gets it off in her stride, that was fine. And Lubbers in front, almost at this stage, and then she's gone. Oh, she was battling with the Czech Republic for the lead, and that opened the door for Ireland. And Phil Healy, the 100 and 200 All-Ireland Schools champion. Brilliant double, and there's a big summer ahead for her in terms of underage competition. It's underway now. Czech changeover, they had to get it right, and they did. And Healy racing against the best athlete she's ever come across in her life. Well, great performance by the Bandon athlete. Czech Republic have the win for now, but I just find that reaction very interesting, and well, the Dutch reaction sadly is quite painful. But nobody's going anywhere for now.
Great changeovers there by the Irish team. They've been training all week under the watchful eye of John Sheehan. Every single changeover worked
Women's javelin, this the situation. Finland leading, as you might expect. Una Sormanen, 56.04. Romanian second place with Eliza Toder. Portugal third with Sylvia Cruz. Sweden fourth, Sophie Flink. Ireland, the hosts, seventh, with Anita Fitzgibbon, which is solid. That's 6 points, and that's how it stands at the moment. So we're heading towards the end of this competition as well. Oh, obviously difficult for competitors in this discipline because you're trying to make sure you don't run into people, as we almost saw in the long jump at the Bislett Games last week. So Sophie Flink in the final round will be the first to throw, leading for Sweden. The applause is for the Irish team, who have a top two finish for now in the women's relay. Get out of the way, matey. Sophie Flink, the reigning world junior champion in javelin. Well, it's a decent throw. It's past 55 meters. But it's a red flag. She broke. Just managed to get through.
Very difficult condition for the throwers. That runway is lethal when it's so wet, and she actually slipped over the line. Very lucky not to hurt herself. The Swedes have a great tradition in javelin throwing, and just watch this now. I think she's lost her footing, and her hand went over the line, and that is a foul.
Means she stays in fourth place. 9 points for her. Sylvia Cruz lies third, and it's at least 10 points for her. 53.11, her third throw and best so far. Improvement of 3 meters, and she's a chance to get back up the board again.
Okay, with left hand, pass the right.
Swedish delegation are not happy with what happened with that final throw of Sophie Flink, and the fact she was given a foul. This actually would have been an improvement of 5 meters and just seemed to cross the line.
Again, the rules are very clear here, but in the interest of natural justice, they may measure it just so she can bring it to a protest, because they can fall back on it. But the rules are very clear, and the Irish officials very, very knowledgeable of the rules.
There's the proof. Potentially, that could have seen her go up to second place.
It's a great story. Last year's World Championships in Daegu, and a Belarusian girl's ponytail fell back in the long jump, and it cost her $60,000. Went from second to fifth. So the rules are clear. She obviously doesn't know the rules. You know, it's natural enough that she'd be emotional about it and she'd want it measured. But the Irish officials today really shining themselves, and they are measuring it.
Just to make sure it'll be beyond 55 meters. At the moment, it's going to go down as a foul. But there'll be an appeal, and if it's successful, Sweden can pick up a couple of points here. She has her concern. At the moment, she's in limbo. This could turn a good result into a great result. How long might this take to fix?
It shouldn't take long at all. I think the officials will measure it. They'll record it. It won't come into the official results. They'll go to a protest, and she'll find out that she'll actually lose the protest. Very knowledgeable officials, I must say. Really doing well, and they have measured that throw, and they won't publish it, of course, because it's not an official throw, but it will be used in the appeal process.
Hand just slid, and you can even see the puddle.
And if you look at the gentleman on the right, that is an international technical official. So he is there to oversee all the domestic officials to ensure that the rules are followed according to plan, and that's exactly what happened.
We've introduced you to Sylvia Cruz, and now we can do that again. Currently lying in third place. Best attempt is 53.11. Improvement of 3 meters, and she'd be in front. There's not much between first and second at the moment. And it's a long throw. Pretty much around what she'd got before, but she had to break that 55-meter line in order to get into the top 2. It's a good performance. Portuguese throwers you don't see an awful lot of. Of course, we have a Caribbean javelin champion at the moment. .52.87 has come up, the second longest throw of the event. Romania, Eliza Tauder, 55.89 her best. But she's happy with how she's done, and yet it could have been even better. So her competition ends. And Tauder again will fall short of 55 meters. She's broken that today, 55.89. It is a white flag, so it will count. And it'll be 11 points for Romania. And they've done very well here. Czech Republic have finished 5th. They get 8 points. Romania 11. Chance to cut the gap, but it's 33 points at the moment. So that means it's victory for Finland. And Une Suominen through 56.04 earlier. 52.24 is actually her lowest successful mark of the day. Our winner is the European under-23 bronze medalist from Tallinn 2 years ago, Une Suominen. 59.14 is her personal best. She's 3 meters behind that at the moment, but she's got the victory. And this to round off a fine day. The longest throw so far was her first, 56 meters and 4. And this to give the crowd something to shout about, maybe. Well, again, it falls short of 55. And she's walked through, and it's a red flag, but she's got the win. And that'll do nicely, and Finland will happily take that. They were lying in 7th place. They have the victory, maximum points for them. Romania second, get 11. Portugal third, get 10. Ireland didn't do too badly in this, by the way, and Nita Fitzgibbon 7th. But straight away, off to the men's 4 by 100 meters relay. This is the opening heat: Switzerland, Belgium, Hungary, Bulgaria, Finland, and Estonia. Switzerland 2, Belgium 3, Hungary 4, Bulgaria 5, Finland 6, Estonia 7. And they're away. Now it's a good start from Balázs Bajy, very fine Hungarian sprinter who's in lane 4, and he's battling hard against the Bulgarian in the outside lane, Bojan Petrov at the moment. Gnanyov, he'll be handing over to the Bulgarian. Hungary, oh, there's been a bit of a mess up there, I think, inside by the Finns, but they're still going. Estonia working hard on the outside lane, and they're trying to get the first changeover first. It's Ricard pulls to Marcus Elazar. Hungary and Bulgaria still working hard. Belgium are working well also. Peter de Rijk passing to Julia Woltrat. Final changeover. Estonia are doing very well here. And it's leading. It's Timo Tiesma leading the way. Belgium in second place. Julia Woltrat. Estonia win it. Belgium second. Switzerland third. Finland 4. Fifth for Hungary. And 6th Bulgaria, who started really well. Bulgaria might just have got a changeover wrong there. And I think Finland had a bit of a problem too, because there was a very angry reaction on the second changeover, but Estonia take it. Tismo with the anchor leg.
And just watch the Finns here in lane 7. They could be on for a double disqualification. The second to outside lane, I think his runner ran too soon. So he comes in, the runner is left, he's outside his own, stopped, and then picked up the baton. I'm sure you'll find an appeal.
There was the reaction, and I think also Bulgaria have been flagged up to us that they may have been outside the zone as well, but that's the reaction you saw there that I was talking about. It was Jani Koskela handing to Lauri Kirkola, and Koskela was not a happy man, but Estonia were flying here. No problems with any changeovers. Tisma coming home brilliantly. And now that is the Swedish attempt, a bonus attempt for Sweden in the women's javelin for Sophie Flink, given an extra throw under protest, and she threw it out of the arc. So that's it, going home in 4th place. 9 points for Sweden, but they're in the top 3 at the moment. Ireland back up in the top 4, and the relay to come. It's been a good day so far. Estonia are doing great. They're still hovering in the relegation zone. Result to be confirmed shortly. So this is how the javelin finished. 4th place for Sweden with Sophie Flink. 9 points. She got 5 throws, got a bonus one. Didn't get any higher up the mark. Portugal 3rd, Silvia Cruz. Eliza Turner, Romania 2nd, and Une Sormanen of Finland. Well, they were a great javelin country, them and Norway. Norway are in the Super League. Finland probably won't get there. They're in 7th place at the moment, but they got the win there. Well, this is how it stands. One event to go today, and the hosts are in 4th place. Some were saying they'd be battling relegation. Czech Republic on the way to victory. Romania, Sweden are in the other leading spots. But the hosts are doing fantastic, and Ireland are in this. Some tremendous young talent in this also, Romania, Portugal, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Sweden and Ireland are the top 6 in this. I think Silvia Babic still holds the Croatian triple jump record, and the family's watching, which is good to know. Bogdan Madaresh is doing the first leg for Romania here. In terms of the top 6, don't have a great draw. Portugal next, led by Diego Antunes. David Lima's on the second leg. Ricardo Montero's on their anchor leg. Netherlands have got a great chance here. Brian Mariano will be handling to Charandi Martina, who's won today for the Netherlands. Hensley Paulina is on their anchor leg. Jarel Feller is the penultimate leg. Czech Republic. Well, a good result here, and promotion might be almost theirs. But there's a lot happening tomorrow. Jan Jurka has their first leg. Michael Dzenjik is the anchorman. Alexander Brorson for Sweden to Neil de Oliveira. Johan Wiesman, Swedish legend, mainly over 400. And for Ireland, it's David Hines starting off from Papians, then Craig Lynch of Shercock, Dean Adams of Ballymena. Final leg, Marcus Lawler. You've seen a lot of him on TV the last few weeks. St. Lawrence O'Toole's Carla. There's a slight problem in the second changeover area, which means we have a slight delay going on here. Marcus Lawler is on the final leg for Ireland. 100-200 double, second year in a row, All-Ireland Schools Championships. In the 200 metres, 6th fastest Irishman of all time. He's 18 years old. He's done his final exams, is leaving cert in the last few weeks.
And both his mother Patricia and his aunt Mary are both Irish senior champions. Plenty of family heritage there for Marcus Lawler.
They've got to get the baton round to him first.
Average age of this Irish team is probably 21.
So it's been reset. So the teams again: Romania, Portugal, Netherlands, Czech Republic, Sweden and Ireland. David Hines starting off a very young Irish selection, and they're on the outside. It's not been a favourable draw, but they have a chance. And we're away. What a great start for the Dutch. Brian Mariano in lane 4, and he's already catching up with the Czech in 5, and the Swedes are doing well in 6. Alexander Brorson catching up with David Hines. Hines gives it to Craig Lynch on the outside. This is a superb Swedish performance. Neil D'Oliveira's going to give it to Johan Wiesman. This is a great chance for Sweden to do massive damage here. Ireland are giving it over towards Dean Adams. Oh, they've got it wrong! They've got it wrong! Ireland are out! Ireland are out! And Marcus Lawler is left as a spectator. Netherlands are coming through to win. Netherlands through Hensley Paulina. Netherlands win it. Sweden second. Portugal third. Czech 4. Romania 5. Ireland nowhere. Ireland no points. They will be overtaken by at least 2 nations.
What a sad way to end the day. The first changeover was absolutely sweet between David Hines and Craig Lynch, and the problem was between Lynch and Dean Adams of Ballymena. It looked as if Adams left early and ran out of his zone, and Craig Lynch just couldn't catch up with him. Very, very sad day to end the day, but what a great day so far for Ireland. 139 points, we expected 110. It's a huge performance by Team Ireland, and let's not let the relay overshadow it.
Well, Dutch did very well there. They got everything absolutely right, and the Irish looked as if they were in the top 3 there. Looks like the results have been updated, and they are still in 4th, so they're still okay. And they were absolutely flying here. Just look at the outside lane. Keep watching. Craig Lynch gives it to Dean Adams here. Keep watching. He went too early. And that was the end of that, and the Dutch took it over. No courage needed. Trani Martina, excellent second leg. This is Gerald Ferrer giving to Hensley Paulina. It was a stroll then. Sweden did very well. Stefan Charnevud with their anchor leg, and they got 11 points. The Dutch got 12, and Ireland didn't finish. This guy's going to be fantastic in years to come, and it's a disappointment for him in his major senior international debut. But he's got a big summer coming up, and a lot more to come.
And he's got
Here's
the
the result
tomorrow.
Ireland DNF, no points for them at all. Netherlands take the victory, Sweden second, Portugal third, Czech Republic fourth, Romania fifth, and Ireland nowhere and no points. Blustery day here. Weather hasn't always been a friend of these European Athletics Team Championships, but it's been a spectacular opening day. We're halfway through the competition of this league. Top three go through to the Super League next season. Czech Republic are almost there. Romania second, Sweden third. Look at that, the relay's been a disaster for Ireland, down to sixth, but they're still in a good position heading into the final day. Portugal fifth, Netherlands sixth. It's been terrific, and if you're around, come and join us tomorrow. It's been really good fun.